So here's a lifestyle question I've always wanted to know. You're watching ESPN at night. Family's asleep. If you're like most of us, you cruise around. You stop by the cables, or you're going past MSNBC, CNN, and you see a debate underway about you and your presidency. Truth. Do you stop? Do you listen?
I have to say, I generally don't.
All right, there they are. It turns out apparently two liars. Governor John Sununu, former governor of New Hampshire and former White House Chief of Staff to President George H.W. Bush, joins us. Hello, Governor.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. So your take on this whole Brian Williams thing?
Well, you know, I'm surprised everybody's surprised. There'd been rumors about this guy's tendency to aggrandize his role in all kinds of things, particularly in Katrina. And ever since he tried to really put President George W. Bush down with an interview that had to do with some books, I've always felt that this was a guy that just had some kind of a psychological problem. So I'm not surprised. A lot of people are saying we should be sympathetic to him. I am not sympathetic to him.
Well, I don't know how you could be sympathetic. You could be sympathetic if he made a mistake. This was not a mistake, and this was not a mistake if it happened even once. It was a lie, but it wasn't once. And to culminate with, I mean, you got Iraq, you got Hezbollah rockets, then you got the whole Katrina thing where it was one lie after the other. Dysentery, the bodies floating by, a man committing suicide he saw in the Superdome, and then being trapped in the stairwell of the hotel with gangs chasing him. I mean, my God.
Very, very pathetic. And I think NBC did the right thing. I'm actually surprised how much of a right thing NBC did. I suspect they're not going to let him on even after the 6 months.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, let's talk about the guy who was in the car with Brian Williams in that clip that we showed, and that's one President Obama yesterday requesting authorization of force against ISIS. But, you know, we spoke to John Yoo and among others, and, you know, the limitations. Basically, it's a blueprint telling ISIS, okay, we're not coming after you on the ground. If you have a bunch of leaders meeting, said the president, we might come after you then. And by the way, after 3 years, if you could hold off that long, you know, we're done. A minority of the Senate could stop us from extending this authorization. Why didn't he just call them up?
You know, what he sent to Congress requesting authorization is a blueprint of the schizophrenia that this president and this White House has over meeting their responsibilities for national security around the world. He wants to be seen as a pacifist who's aggressive or an aggressor who's a pacifist. This is ridiculous. There is more here that ties the hands of the chief executive than extends authority. The country would be better off without this particular piece of legislation. I hope there are enough Democrats in the Senate to join with the Republicans and send the president a useful piece of authorization so that the hands of the chief executive are not tied and that the United States can project force and begin to take out this horrible scourge of ISIS that has created the horrors we've seen on television.
What, I mean, and what happens if, you know, they don't approve of this request in the form that he wanted it, and then he vetoes any other form that gives that extends the authority of the president, extends it to more than 3 years, extends the right to put ground troops in, and he says no. I mean, we're back, and you know, you got to laugh, Governor. Where's all the successes he touted at the beginning that we've taken out their infrastructure, we've taken out their leadership, we've crippled them? Where's the proof of any of that?
Look, believe it or not, if he vetoes it, we're better off than having a bad one pass, because the existing authorizations that are in place are still there.
Right.
They were broad enough. He's been operating under them. There is no real restriction on the utilization even of ground forces there. And if he were smart, he would take advantage of the authorities he already has as president under the old authorizations. But this guy wants to try and have his cake and somebody else's cake at the same time.
That's a very good way of putting it. By the way, you haven't seen Hillary Clinton anywhere, have you?
No, I haven't. I'm watching this with a great deal of interest. I'm wondering whether this is a sign that Mrs. Clinton may be deciding she doesn't want to run.
Well,
But
maybe, Governor, maybe she's dodging sniper fire somewhere that we don't know about. That could come back to haunt her in the wake of Williams, too.
Well, you know, Williams really has done her a disservice because it certainly creates the opportunity for those who are going to be taking strong criticism of a lot of things she's done.
Yep.
This adds to it. This, on top of Benghazi, is really going to make it difficult.
All right, Governor, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, Governor John Sununu. When we come back, Dov Hikind, the New York City assemblyman, wants to take the seat of a congressman to watch Netanyahu if he doesn't go. I'll explain later.